evening. Who said David Beckham's not a big draw anymore? Since old Balones de Oro made his pilgrimage to Madrid just over a year ago, Michael Owen has followed, and now the whole England team are here as they take on Spain in the Bernabeu, a fixture that brings back a few memories. Well, tonight's game may only be an amistoso, a friendly, but with this being Spain's 500th international, it promises to be quite an occasion. And what a venue, El Estadio Santiago Bernabeu, home of Real Madrid. Always a great place to come. And here with us tonight, two men who, to the best of my knowledge, have never scored here, Alan Hansen and Jamie Redknapp.
There's two questions. Who was the Spanish keeper and how much did you pay him?
And
three goals for 2 inches and one was a pass back.
You've never seen my goals before, they're always like that. But I'll tell you a story about that. Zubi, the goalkeeper, Zubi Zareta from Barcelona, my teammate.
Exactly.
He came in at the end of that game and he walked over, he shook my hand and he went, in a perfect Cockney accent that he may have picked up from Terry Venables, he went, bloody hell. Actually, he said it a bit stronger than that, but it's before the water.
That's one of your better stories.
Let's move on as quick as possible.
Yeah, let's move on. What about tonight? It's Spanish football's 500th international, and
yeah, it's
good players.
It's a great place to come to. I mean, sometimes you go to places in the world and you say just another pitch, another stadium, but obviously you have an affinity with places. Anfield and the old Wembley was brilliant. They've got two here, the new camp and this. You come here and you look at this pitch. Unfortunately, I never played it, but you look at this thing here and you think, this is a bit tasty, a bit special.
Jeremy?
It's a fantastic arena. It's a bit of a shame really, because I think there are about 50,000 here tonight, so it won't be quite full, but you know, it's beautiful. You know, as football grounds go, this is special. With a new camp, places like that, it's got so many memories. You think of the players that have graced this pitch. It's a brilliant place.
Yeah.
Tremendous history.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Well, I suppose two of the perennially underachievers in many ways, you could say. But there's an anticipation about this game, and they're trying to fill the stadium. They've invited supporters to come along tonight and buy tickets at the gate on the night for as little as €6.
Yeah.
So hopefully
that puts
should
things
fill up later.
into perspective. But it would be great for the game if we did get thrown a tremendous atmosphere. I don't think, like Jamie says, it's going to ham, but I still think you've got enough quality on the pitch to make it a real game. Let's hope it's competitive. It's a nice time for English football on the national side, that's for sure.
Yeah, two strong sides. Let's take a little glance at the England team first. One or two changes from their previous match. Beckham comes back, of course, after his voluntary yellow card.
Well, you could say that's about the strongest side. Obviously, Sol Campbell would have been there at number 6, and probably Steven Gerrard would have been there, but it's a very, very strong side.
It's a slightly different shape as well to the Wales game, which is taken up a 4-4-2, whereas in the Wales game, I think at home, he wanted to really get after him. He went with a 4-3-3 with Jermaine Defoe playing up front, but I think that's probably testament to how good he thinks Spain are. That's the respect that he's showing them by playing more of a rigid 4-4-2 system. With Rooney and Michael up front. A little bit more optimistic about this England team now, Alan, than perhaps we've been for some years.
Very much so. What they have is they've got strength and depth. They came off the back of the Euro 2004 and the disappointment. They had a good friendly against the Ukraine, and the results have been terrific in the World Cup qualification, but the performances have been very, very solid. Control of the ball, control of the game. I think that what's happened is one or two positions that you always looked and there were weaknesses, they've turned into strength. And classic example of that is Ashley Cole at left back. 18 months ago you thought, well, if you get after him, he'll be in big trouble. But to his credit, he's improved his defensive qualities, that side of his game. And now, to me, at left back, he looks a real strength.
No, I agree. I think it's been said before, but I do believe that Sven is a lucky man. He's inherited a very, very good group of players, probably the best we've had in years. You look at, a few years ago, we're struggling to find centre halves. Now we've got 4 top-class players. Ledley King, who's not here this evening, is as good a centre half as I've seen. Midfield, front man. We were looking for a Beardsley-type character to come and be a link man for us, and we've found one in Wayne Rooney. And he's got a great bunch of players at the moment.
Fitness of Rooney is vitally important, but also Ferdinand coming back, because I honestly think that Ferdinand's a class act. We saw it in the World Cup that he's one of the top defenders in the world, and he just gave everybody so much confidence.
Special night for two of England's players, and let's hear from the Dos Galacticos, Michael Owen and David Beckham. They've been talking to a star of our own, Garth Crooks.
How proud will you be walking out, taking out the national team, all in white, at the Bernabeu?
Yeah. I'm very proud because When I was captain and leading the England team out at Manchester United, I was proud then, and now I'm lucky enough to lead the team out again at a club where I play my football week in and week out. And of course, it's going to be a very proud moment for me. You know, of course, we're wearing all white, which is very fitting and nothing to do with me. Before people start saying that, but no, it's nice that we're wearing all white, and it's amazing for me to be leading the team out at the Bernabeu.
Football is so big out here, and every single person in the street recognises you around Madrid. I mean, it's really different to England. I thought England was a fanatical football nation, and it is. But I mean, Spain is just as much, really.
How would you account for Michael Owen's resurgence?
Because when you're a great player, it doesn't just disappear overnight. People criticised Michael at the start of the season. He wasn't getting in the team, wasn't getting the goals, and people were saying, well, is Michael Owen good enough for this league? And when I was asked that question, I said, of course he is. It's Michael Owen. He's one of the best goal scorers in the world.
Do you think you've won the Real Madrid fans over?
I certainly feel a big sense of achievement at what's happened so far, and I certainly feel as if the fans have taken to me more than I could ever have imagined.
There's been a suggestion that you might retire after 2006. Is that true?
No, it's not true. I don't want to retire from international football. I set myself a target when I first started playing for England and when I first became captain, that I wanted to reach over 100 caps, because I look up to players like Bobby Moore, Sir Bobby Charlton, and you look at these players and want to achieve something similar to them.
Michael, you've got 28 goals, so Bobby Charlton's got 49. Is that a target? He thinks it is.
Oh, I'm glad he thinks it is, yeah. It's a target, yeah, no doubt about it. I'd love to get that record. I mean, that'll be something, but I'm still in the 20s, so miles away from it. Yeah, I'll have to keep my place in the team and obviously play for many more years to even consider it.
The yellow card against Wales, is that whole episode behind you now?
I've personally put it behind me. Obviously the FA have put it behind them, the FIFA have, a few of the press men tried to bring it up again yesterday, but as everyone knows, I apologised very publicly, and as far as I'm concerned, that's the end of it.
So you won't do it again?
No.
Is this a game England can relax a little bit, bearing in mind the position in the qualifying stages?
You can't be taking half measures going away to Spain. I mean, it's one of the toughest places in the world to go to. I mean, they're a fantastic footballing nation, so we'll have to be on our mettle.
They've both done very well at Real Madrid, both bounced back from difficult situations. David Beckham first, how would you evaluate his sort of year and a half here?
Well, I think he's done really well. I mean, he is a class player. People said he would play in the middle. I mean, obviously the two of them are playing on a great side. I think it's important for him to play well tonight. I think simply because his love affair with the press and the media has gone a bit. On the way up, he could play averagely, and he'd be a superstar. On the way down, if you don't play as well as people expect, then they're going to criticise you. But I think that he's so important for England, because if he plays well, invariably England play well.
Yeah, I mean, David Beckham, he has had a difficult time of late because of the situation with the Wales game, and he come out, he's probably too honest for his own good. But he's David Beckham. He can pull things out the bag. The Wales game, the goal. When England needed something special, we can come up with those sort of those sort of goals and special things that he can do.
Jamie, you've played, of course, with Michael Owen on many occasions. People always seem very quick to want to write him off, but he keeps bouncing back, as he's done again at Madrid. 6 goals in 8 games since he's joined them, despite not yet playing 90 minutes.
Which is unbelievable, because he's not, as you say, he's not really had a clear run of games yet, and he hasn't really got much competition there really with Ronaldo.
Certainly quite relaxed at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, he's 28 goals for England. I mean, it's an amazing thing that people still seem to doubt him, and every time people doubt him, he comes back and scores goals. And I've played alongside him. He's as good a finisher as I've ever seen. He's adapted his game slightly, but when he was younger, with the injuries have taken their toll. I think he's perhaps lost that half a yard of pace that he's had, but he's still a clinical goal scorer, and you can't take that away from him.
You've defended him many occasions.
Well, I was just going to say that the one player since I stopped playing that you can defend to the hilt and know that you can't possibly fail is Michael Owen. So many times people have asked so many questions about him, and every time he answers them more emphatically. And this time, he is a great goal scorer. And like Jamie said, you know, when he was 18, he scored a wonder goal against the Argentinians. He is so much a better player now than he was then. And to think that the tender age is at the minute, he's got so many goals, and he will keep on scoring them.
It's a big week for him because they've got the playing in Barcelona the weekend. You know, tonight he's going to really want to show something tonight, and on Saturday as well.
I think his game is all about sharpness. The last 18 months at Liverpool, you know, the body language wasn't there, the sharpness wasn't there. He's suddenly got the sharpness back. He looks a different player.
Renewed enthusiasm. Well, let's get a word from the England manager, Sven-Göran Eriksson. He too has been chatting to Garth.
Sven, is this a fixture where you can relax and enjoy a little bit more than, say, a World Cup qualifier?
Yeah, it's different. It's a friendly game, but it's a friendly game with prestige, I should say, because it's Spain. It's Bernabeu, the home stadium for Michael Owen and David Beckham. So they will try to beat Spain, I'm sure about that. It should be good for them coming back to the dressing room on Thursday with a victory. Life is easier that way. Of course, it's not a World Cup qualification. There you know that you have to win, and you have to... here you can put in some young players second half. And the friendlies are for that reason. But of course we want to win it.
We're back to where you started. The first game as England manager was against Spain. What memories do you have of that game?
3-0. It was the first game, and of course it was very special for me to standing there and hearing the English anthem. I was freezing, not because it was cold, but emotions. So of course I remember that.
Will you find the 6 substitution rule restrictive?
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. And I don't think it's fair, because I know all the other managers in Europe, they don't like it. Because when you play a friendly, you should have the right to change how many you want to change. But unfortunately, FIFA went against that. But I think they will change it again in the future.
Well, I hope they don't, Sven, because you might not like it, but we do, because it makes these friendlies less farcical. The Spanish team, let's have a look. Plenty of star names in that, and a couple of them, of course, play in the Premiership. Reyes and Xavi Alonso, who's done well at Liverpool.
Yeah, Reyes is an exciting talent, left foot, right foot, in the air, can spot a pass. Alonso has been terrific at Liverpool, arguably their best player. Good feet, can see a pass. You know, and the front two are lively. You know, so attacking-wise, they're going to be pretty effective.
I think they might have a problem at the back though tonight, Alan, where Puyol's injured and so's Helguera. That's their normal 2 defensive partnership, right. And be interesting to see. Hopefully we can cause them problems.
He's done well, hasn't he?
Well, he really came to life in that cup tie against Chelsea last season, where he picked up and just buried 2 in the top corner. This season he has been absolutely terrific, and he's got so much pace, so much ability, and he's got everything. Like, that's why Wenger rates him so highly. This cuts inside, this is his right foot, buries in the top corner, in the air. This is a great header, low down, and then sees the line of the defence, makes a great run, one look up, in, this time his left foot, fantastic. And this against Manchester United plays, it's like a Bergkamp type pass.
Not a Bergkamp-like.
No, bad touch from Dennis.
No, he's a good player, he's got everything.
About this young lad, this is their big hope, a bit like Wayne Rooney for England. Fernando Torres plays for Atletico.
Yeah, he's a tremendous player. As yet to take off at this level. I think he's got 1 goal in 13 games, which is a little bit disappointing. But he can really play. Disappointing in the European Championships. He showed glimpses of what you'd like to see from him. But he's a clinical finisher,
And he's eventually got in there.
And unbelievably, Raul's only 27.
I had him done at 32.
Good goal-scoring record, that is.
That is fantastic.
He is a real player. I spoke to Steve McManaman about him when he come here, and he said that he is the man at Real Madrid.
I've always thought that Moriente is a better player than Raul, but this is the back post. What a chance that is.
He didn't score in Euro 2000, did he?
A few question marks against him, because he's never really delivered in a major championship.
Well, exactly. I mean, you're telling me that he's played better for Real Madrid this season than he has done in the past, and He's looking lively, and I suppose with the competition for places. But like you say, in the major championships, he is always disappointed.
Yeah, it's funny. They've got a bit of firepower. Spain got an attractive midfield. Should play some good football. Always do.
Yeah, I mean they've got Xavi, Alonso, and Xavi in midfield. Barcelona and you know you've seen more of Alonso than what I have this season at Liverpool, but I think he's been a top player. He can play off the left foot, right foot. He's a real good signing for Liverpool. Benitez was a astute signing that one.
I think they've been underachievers, obviously, in major championships, but when you go through the side and they're at home, they've just got enough quality in the team to give England major problems. Yeah, so they'll have to be at their best.
Yeah, it's always tough to predict how these friendly games are going to work out. I mean, a few of the Spanish players with the Madrid-Barcelona game might be taking it easy. What do you think tonight?
Well, I just hope that it's competitive, you know, for the supporters that come here, the people that are watching at home. You know, to me, if you're playing a friendly and it's not competitive, then it's basically a waste of time. Yeah. But you can tell in the first 10 minutes what it's going to be like. Hopefully, you know, they're all going to be up for it. It's a big game in a big stadium, and hopefully we're going to see a big game.
And both countries have press that can be quite hard on sort of lacking performance.
I mean, you've got to be some player to hold something back in a game like this, because Beckham's going to be here tonight. He's going to want to show that he's the main man for England. Michael Owen the same. So I don't think players will be holding anything back tonight. I think it's going to be a very good, intense game.
We're hopeful.
Thank you. Right, Spain versus England. Our commentary team here at the Bernabeu, Mark Lawrenson and John Motson.
Yes, thank you, Gary. Madrid's celebrated Bernabeu Stadium is by no means full for this friendly, but the Spanish supporters who are here are in celebratory mood. This, as you said, their team's 500th official international. It's their 20th against England, and in one of their first in Madrid in 1929, before this stadium was built, they became the first overseas nation to beat England at that level. And David Beckham and company will be hoping to avenge that 4-3 defeat tonight when he leads out the England team, who will, as he said, be wearing the all-white strip of Real Madrid. Spain will be in red shirts and blue shorts. "4,000 England supporters here, we're told. 3,500 bought their tickets officially through the Football Association. A few others have tagged along as well. And there's a big welcome for the Spanish team from the lower tiers. Not quite so many people in the upper tiers, but they haven't met since that first game of Sven-Göran Eriksson's. And England do have a good record against the Spaniards. Spain are unbeaten since Euro 2004 and they field 6 survivors from the team that went out to the hosts in Portugal, including their all-time top scorer Raul, the captain, and Liverpool's Xavi Alonso, who you've mentioned. Don't confuse him, by the way, with Xavi of Barcelona, also in midfield. Jose Antonio Reyes of Arsenal playing on the left. But among the well-known absentees, Jamie Redknapp mentioned a couple of them: Puyol, Elguera, Baraka, Valeron, Morientes, Vicente and Esteberria. And for England, well, there are 3 missing from their squad, really: Sol Campbell, Ledley King and Joe Cole. But that gives John Terry a chance to restake his claims. The 2 wide men, David Beckham and Wayne Bridge, both missed the last match in Azerbaijan. Jermaine Defoe and Jermaine Genius make way for them. And those 2 are among the 10 England substitutes. But as you heard from Garth Crooks' interview with Sven, only 6 can be used under the new FIFA ruling, which he's not very happy about. I just wonder, Mark Lawrenson, whether Beckham and Owen will go the distance, bearing in mind they both have a gigantic league game in Barcelona on Saturday night.
No, I don't think so for a moment, certainly not in Beckham's case. Michael Owen may not start at the weekend, John, but even so, you wouldn't want to risk him for the full 90 minutes. I think competitive is the key word tonight. And hopefully we've seen lots and lots of these friendlies. Some of them have been somewhat banal, but hopefully if they start tonight, there are so many talented players on this pitch, you would imagine we're in for a good game, or certainly a good first half.
You saw a shot there of George Kasnaferis, the Greek referee. He speaks perfect English. In fact, he took charge of the away match against Liechtenstein, which England won 2-0. He has 2 Greek assistants, and the England players will be wearing black armbands tonight, in memory and in respect of the passing of Emlyn Hughes, who won 62 caps for his country and was captain many times, and also Keith Weller, the former Leicester player who sadly passed away after a long illness. He won 4 caps. We remember them both with great fondness. England will kick off then in the all-white, playing from right to left, and quite a boisterous response from the crowd as the game gets underway, with Gary Neville here. Forward to Frank Lampard, who's wearing number 8, and straight away an offside against Wayne Rooney. What are you looking for from this game, Mark?
I think as far as England are concerned, John, just the continuity. Certainly, Alan was talking about it, Alan Hansen in the studio before. It's very much nearly England's, you would think, strongest team. So we're talking about friendlies, we're talking about maybe first half displays. You just want England to set the tempo tonight, which I think they're certainly capable of.
This is the Real Madrid right back Salgado, wearing number 2 for Spain, playing it across to Marchena, and the left back there is Delorno of Bilbao. Fernando Torres looking for a position, so is Raul in the centre of the field. Spain get the throw. This is Raul here. Now a little bit of a break on here for England perhaps, and Wayne Rooney is in onto a pass from Wayne Bridge. There was a flag up actually, Mark, wouldn't have counted, but just for a moment the Spanish defence were taking a bit of a chance with Rooney.
Well, it stopped completely, didn't it? And Casillas didn't know as well that the referee had blown, and in the end it was actually a really good tackle, not so much a save as a tackle.
Well, Rooney will have his spirits high after the 2 goals for Manchester United at the weekend, and indeed the 9 he scored already for England in 19 internationals. And he is, of course, just 19.
Like me, John, you've seen many, many things in football, but I've just seen the ultimate tonight. A referee in white boots. He must be good.
Well, they've become very fashionable with the players, haven't they? So obviously the referees have now got their sponsorship deal in place. Goalkeeper for Spain is Iker Casillas, only 23, but vastly experienced in terms of big competition with Real Madrid. This is Marchena. And that was a misplaced pass by Reyes. Xavi, Alonso and Xavi really controlling the centre of midfield, which is where they'll find Nicky Butt and Frank Lampard. Could be a key area in the game. Spain like to play wide as well, though, Mark, don't they? They've got Joaquin here on the right-hand side, wearing number 10. I think they'll want to get the ball out to him whenever possible. It could be a very good contest against Ashley Cole. That's his pass.
I think also as well, Reyes down the left-hand side, and if you add to that Fernando Torres and speed of thought and speed of mind as well with Raul, they look a really good side going forward.
Piercing ball by Beckham, looking for Owen, just slightly overhit the two Real Madrid players.
That's a trademark Beckham pass, isn't it? He's brilliant at that, sort of 40 yards diagonal.
Yes. Now then, here's Xavi from Barcelona. It's his 22nd cap. Del Orno to Reyes. It's a free kick. Gary Neville. But Spain don't send the centre-backs up. They take it quickly instead and work the ball out to this side of the field to Joaquin. Salgado. Joaquin again. Oh, he's got round the back here beautifully, and there's the cross headed away by Rio Ferdinand, then by Frank Lampard. And then the shot just comfortably really from Del Ormo for Robinson. But what about that bit of trickery, Mr. Lawrenson?
Absolutely brilliant, John, as well, and nutmeg to boot. I'm sure he mentioned that fact to Ashley Cole.
We were talking last night to the former Liverpool colleague of yours, Michael Robinson, who now lives and works in Spain as a broadcaster, and he said that the contest between Joaquin and Ashley Cole was going to be the highlight of the evening. We shall see.
We weren't talking to him, we were listening to him for 3 hours.
That's a bit more like it. Now then, here's Cole on the ball. Rooney to Beckham. Lampard. And again, Beckham, that crossfield pass, picking out Wayne Bridge. This is Nicky Butt, and now it's Cole. Beckham's made a run right to left to take a position in the centre here, but he won't be found. This is Joaquin. Reyes. Now, Fernando Torres has made a good run, so has Raul here, number 7.
Good defensive work by John Terry, who just stood big, very, very tall, and just made sure he wasn't beaten.
Just wonder if Michael Owen might get a bit of joy with that through ball tonight, Mark. Again there, although obviously it was well ahead of him, the defence didn't react very quickly when it was played. Well,
I think the two centre-backs, Juanito and Marchena, haven't played that many games together, and there's also great telepathy between Beckham and Owen, certainly. And the thing with Michael is he always keeps himself just onside, and get the right ball through to him, he'll get the chances.
Marchena plays for Valencia. He played part of Euro 2004. Juanito plays for Betis of Seville. The clubs are spread around a bit in this Spanish squad. They're by no means all from Real Madrid or Barcelona these days. The whole talk in Madrid really has been perhaps more about the game at the weekend, because they're now only 4 points apart, Barcelona and Real Madrid. Here's Nicky Butt. Little cushioned header by Raul. And Fernando Torres on the run here. Up against Rio Ferdinand, who concedes the corner.
No, that's a great thing as well about Ferdinand. And for a second, Fernando Torres seemed to have half a yard on him, but pace to burn Rio Ferdinand, which got him back in position in the end. Did well.
Now this time they have sent up number 6, Juanito. It's going just by the penalty spot, and corner doesn't go that far anyway. Marchena stayed back. Xabi Alonso. And Cole gets there before Joaquin. This is Salgado with the throw for Spain. Nicky Butt, Beckham, given away, Raul, Xavi, compact little player, the number 8, Joaquin, Xavi again. This is Delorno, and it's a corner again to Spain. Seems to me that Juanito is the man who's going to go up for these, and leaving his partner Marchena behind. Xabi Alonso's in there as well. And there was Xabi Alonso, and the header has gone in. And it's the left back who scored. Would you believe that? It's Delorno. And England are a goal behind here in Madrid. Spanish flags being waved, and a lack of understanding at the back, and one has to say England's defending at set plays has left a bit to be desired in recent games, and here we have another example of it. Delorno found himself in a lot of space there to complete it with the header, and as the corner comes in here, Xabi Alonso goes down on the stoop. Everybody seems to stand still then, Mark, before it's headed in.
Well, it was. When Delorno made contact, if the ball came a long way, I think Raul was just stood in front of Robinson, and Robinson then came out to engage Raul. Raul completely missed it. Robinson did also, and well, it's 1-0 to the Spanish.
9 minutes gone in the Bernabeu.
You'd also have to have a look, John, on who was on the far post in terms of marking the post, because they never really anticipated that the ball was going to come into them.
This is Bridge. Now, Xavi. Only his third cap, Delorno, so it'll be quite a moment for him, his first goal. And he comes from Bilbao.
I would suggest it would have been long odds with all these good players around for first goal scorer, Owen and Rooney and Raul, etc.
Absolutely. The most unlikely scorer on the pitch, possibly.
I would think so.
Maybe apart from, say, well, you know, the England fullbacks haven't scored for their country yet, have they? Perhaps that's a cue for Gary Neville or Ashley Cole. Or even John Terry. Anyway, here's Nicky Butt. He hasn't scored either for England. Here's Joaquin. Xabi Alonso. We'll call him Alonso where we can, so as not to confuse him with Xavi. Salgado. This is Xavi now. Raul. Passing the ball quite well, Spain here. Here's the goal scorer. Alonso forward to Fernando Torres. Now it's Wayne Bridge. Ashley Cole and Bridge renewing their partnership on the left. This is Rooney joining them. Oh, and Ashley Cole made a good forward run there. But Rooney, well, not only did Rooney not pass the ball well, he then shot down Joaquin.
The red mist descended almost instantly, didn't it? He got the ball and just cut inside and looked to pick out a pass, and in the end just gave it to the Spanish, and as soon as he gave it to Joaquin, we just decided to bring him down. I
have to say, Mike, if that had been a competitive match...
Oh, yellow, straight
yellow,
away.
Surely, yes. I think referee Casnaferis is going to try and be as gentle as he can, as it's a friendly.
It was very high as well, John.
Look at Sven there, he must be a bit concerned about that edge to Rooney's game. does actually say something about his commitment, but it also says something about how headstrong he can be at times. Now then, here's Wayne Bridge. Michael Owen. Good ball to Owen from Bridge. Following up is Lampard. I think we're in for quite an interesting game here, Mark. It's stretched already, isn't it?
Yeah. In fact, an early goal is anything you always want in a friendly like this.
That was Reyes to Xavi. Here's Joaquin Salgado. Alonso. Oh, there's some space there as Reyes came across the line. John Terry got a tackle in on the end, and now then, oh, offside.
Oh, I don't know, John. I'm not sure about that when the ball was played. Obviously, it's been given.
Well, Michael Owen's sure that he wasn't.
Be interesting to see when the ball was played.
You could tell from Owen's reaction what he thought.
Yeah, he certainly thought he was on.
"14 minutes gone in the Santiago Bernabéu Stadium, where they held the 1982 World Cup final. Now then, Raul to Fernando Torres. He's dangerous in these positions. Reyes is to his left. Unselfish, really, on Torres' part. I've seen him go alone from there in the past. Here's Butt.
You just feel at the moment, in terms of the game, that the Spaniards have complete control of the midfield, and England's, when occasionally they've got on the ball, generally they've wasted it.
I think also Spain are making England play at Spain's pace.
Certainly. Well, what they do as well, the Spanish, John, they took Raul in, so they almost become 5 midfield players, of which he's sort of at the fulcrum of the 5.
He's had his critics in recent months, Raul. There was a press campaign to get him out the side at one point, but it's ludicrous when you think he scored 40 goals in 80 matches. I mean, he really is their Michael Owen when it comes to marksmanship.
Yeah, terrible record to have that.
Now then, here comes Wayne Rooney. The flag stays down, and Rooney couldn't quite get that under control. Otherwise, it was a real opening for England.
Great ball from David Beckham as well, again. That diagonal was an excellent chance for England and Rooney. I think for a moment the way Rooney approached it looked like he thought he might have been offside. He was just rather tentative.
This is Wayne Bridge. So David Beckham spreading the play around a bit early on here. Should know every inch of this pitch. Here's Raul. Likewise, Xavi. Salgado raiding down the right. Joaquin's moved inside. Fernando Torres is coming in too. On the chest of John Terry, but the pass a little careless. England in the end escape with a throw.
Just been England's problem, isn't it? You almost seem to forget they're playing international football where you have to retain the ball.
We're going into that kind of stop-start period of England's season now as well, Mark. They play, well, they don't play again until February when there's a friendly against Holland, and the next competitive match is not until the end of March. And the assistant referee is flagging here.
Foul throw, John.
Foul throw, it's got to go to England. What do you think about that calendar? Do you think that gives Sven, you know, frustration that they won't get that World Cup group going again until, what, 5 months?
Yeah, I think it's just part of the problem of the group, really. But in all honesty, both England and Poland in this group, as far as I'm concerned, are clear. And I do expect England to qualify and qualify easily.
We play Poland actually in the last match. That brings back a few memories, doesn't it? We weren't being disrespectful, by the way, to our friends from Wales and Northern Ireland with our little forecast there. Here's Fernando Torres. Oh, he's been brought down by John Terry. It's a free kick to Spain. And it's Xavi who's preparing to take this. And the left back is forward again.
He's got the taste, Alonso.
Well, there was no need for him to do that, was there? Was there no call there? Rio Ferdinand, it was going harmlessly out of play.
No, there was obviously no call. I think straight away you're looking at the goalkeeper, if you're the centre-back in that position, just for him to let you know that it's safe to leave the ball.
Well, here we have another test for England on the set plays. Reyes with the corner. Short to Raul. And it comes now to Alonso.
You always wonder why teams do that. When the corner before you just scored a goal, you deliver the ball into the penalty area, there's abject panic from the opposing defence, and then you decide to work a short one.
A few late arrivals here. They kicked off here at 9:45 Spanish time tonight. They like their late night shopping in Madrid before they go to football.
Another thing about that, John, is imagine if you brought your young son. Imagine if you've got school in the morning. There's no chance, is there?
That's over the head of Alonso. Delorno. Or your daughter, for that matter.
Yeah, sorry.
Now then, Spain on the attack. This is Salgado, who loves going down the flank like this. Sets up Xavi. Danger here with the header, and only just wide. Raul coming in, as he so often does, with a little brisk run left to right, catching out his marker.
Yeah, that's a trademark Raul chance, isn't it? Attacking the penalty area very, very late. Good ball in from Xavi, most definitely picked him out, and a little bit of pressure from Rio Ferdinand.
One has to say, England looking somewhat uncomfortable after 20 minutes in defence.
They look very static throughout the team, don't they? It's the three sort of component parts in forward, midfield and defence.
Fernando Torres from Raul.
You're just saying, John, every area of England's team at the moment looks isolated, whereas there's a lot more fluency about the Spanish side.
That was foot up by Reyes on Beckham, so England can just take their time with a free kick now. Yeah, so they are, fluent is the right word actually, that's exactly how they look. England fitful up to now. Here's Xavi. Good work, Joaquin. Alonso. Delorno. Reyes. And it goes to Raul. Xavi again. Count the passes. Joaquin. And this time Xavi, oh, what a lovely little ball into Reyes. He can't find Raul though. And now Michael Owen as England break out with Beckham. David Beckham has lost possession, and this is Fernando Torres.
Well, Beckham's holding his side. I don't know whether he's got another little knock on the ribs. He was stretching all the time for that.
Well, his hand went immediately to that part of his body.
I actually thought that Torres wasted the chance in a picture of Xavi there just to keep in possession of the football, but it was a better chance for Torres. He could have gone on another couple of strides.
Well, he had support as well. He could have done one or two things, but I don't think he was going to score from there. Header on there was by Rooney. Little touch by Owen to Bridge. Owen trying to win it back. Now then, England get a corner. Beckham will come across to deliver this. And John Terry and Rio Ferdinand on their way forward. Poor delivery by David Beckham, didn't clear the first defender. And now Spain, oh, look at this. Yakin got away, clear of Ashley Cole, and there's support coming in from the far post. It needed that. Oh my goodness, it needed that. Gary Neville was the covering defender, but look at the pace with which Yakin broke away here on the right-hand side.
Again, that ball inside the fullback from Xavi, and Ashley Cole's quick, so how quick must Yakin be? But Gary Neville did brilliantly. He watched all the way, just got himself in a fantastic position to be able to make the clearance. That came from England's corner, don't forget.
Indeed it did, and we'll talk about that again in a minute, because it's a corner to be taken by Xavi. Robinson comes out. Good ball by Yakin to Reyes, and this is Raul for Spain. Penalty. He's given it. He's given the penalty.
I thought he got the ball, John. I honestly believe Robinson got the ball.
Well, the England players are surrounding the Greek referee, which is all to no avail. He's pointed to the spot already. And have a look at this, Mark.
Well, I just think he gets the ball here, because you watch where the ball goes. He definitely got both hands on it. The ball was going towards the goal, and Robinson's knocked it away from the goal, and the referee's fallen for it.
Mark, it's a long time since I saw an England protest as vehement as that in a full international. Every single player surrounded the referee, and they've only just very reluctantly, well, in fact, two of them are still there. John Terry and David Beckham. It's a prolonged protest.
That's just a poor decision.
And Raul will take the penalty. Oh, and Robinson saves it. Well, maybe justice was done there. He certainly seemed to get his hands on the ball when he made the challenge, and he most definitely got them on the ball when he saved the penalty.
Yeah, excellent save. Justice was done.
Now, Michael Owen brought clattering down, free kick to England.
It might just be the wake-up call, really, that England needed.
Well, Beckham and the referee are not getting on very well just at the moment. Further conversation there. Might be an idea if Spain retreated more than just a yard.
I don't know if you saw, but Beckham was moving the ball as well. Once he saw the referee turn away, start to measure the wall, he just kept rolling the ball towards the goal.
Well, don't forget, this is his own club goalkeeper, isn't it, Casillas? He should know what's going to happen now. In fact, he wasn't called into action.
What you mean, like he hits it into the wall? Is that what you meant?
Something like that, yeah. Oh, it's all getting fairly hectic now. That's Reyes who's gone down.
And it's good, though, because there's now got a little bit of a spice in the game as well, so that's good news.
You do need an edge to a friendly. You're absolutely right. And the goal produced part of it. The penalty has heightened things a little bit more here in Madrid. Looking for Raul now. That's Ashley Cole. Oh, what are they doing? Cole and Terry getting a little mixed up there. Lampard. This is Bridge. Oh, nicely to Ashley Cole. Owen's in a good position here. Michael Owen off. Casillas beat him to it, but not by much.
I just wonder if that had been a competitive game and it hadn't been his teammate, whether he would have lunged for that. See if he couldn't make the goalkeeper make a mistake.
Or whether the goalkeeper might then have done what Robinson did and England might have had a penalty.
Yeah, save it and get a penalty given against him.
Yeah. Here's Yakin. Xavi. David Beckham. This is Yakin with Bridge coming back to mark him. That's a corner.
And he's been the real thorn in England's side, hasn't he? Taking on Ashley Cole, taking on Wayne Bridge as well, and beating them almost at will.
5 corners to Spain in this first half so far. Juanito and Del Olmo are forward again. And Del Olmo comes in, this number 3. And he got good contact on the ball. Here's the point you're making about Yakin.
Well, just his ability to take on defenders is posing a real problem for England's left flank. And also he's got the pace and he's got the tricks.
Remember back in the 2002 World Cup, Mark, he was very influential in Spain's progress there. I think he was involved in that moment against Korea when they had a goal wiped out when the ball didn't cross the line. Do you remember that?
I do remember.
Yeah, it was an awful moment for the Spaniards, really. One of those decisions which did change the course of a World Cup, but anyway, it's a bit late to argue about it now. England with Ashley Cole. Neville. Owen. When the crowd get going like this, the Bernabeu is a real theatre. You could buy a ticket right up to kick-off tonight for about £5 in English money. €6 some people are getting them for. Here's Beckham. Beckham's distribution at the moment, Mark, is all over the place.
It's been poor, John, since the corner incident when Spain got the penalty just after. He keeps giving the ball away.
Beckham tonight is winning his 77th cap. Gary Neville the next in line with 73. Here's Raul to Alonso to Xavi. Yakin. Wayne Bridge.
You know, John, apart from Beckham almost putting Owen through and Rooney as well, I can't remember any passing sequence from England whatsoever in this game so far.
Well, there's one thing for sure, they haven't tested Casillas yet, have they, in any real shape or form. Here's Fernando Torres, he's taking on Ferdinand. Raul's in the centre, being marked by Terry at the moment. Still Torres. And then they more or less gave it back to Reyes.
Yeah, I think it was Lampard who was back in the end to help Ferdinand.
Now Rooney. The bounce favoured him there, but he had 1, 2, 3 defenders around him and no help.
He actually fouled Juanito as well on the way through. He pulled his shirt, which the referee never saw. It's those white boots, I'm telling you.
Xavi. This is the Arsenal man, Reyes. Del Olmo goes outside in. Reyes was fouled, but the advantage is played, and it's headed away by Ferdinand.
It's just like Old Trafford, isn't it, Gary Neville and Reyes?
Yes. Referees had a word with Gary Neville. Yes, absolutely it was. That was one of the real sparking points in that particular game, wasn't it?
They took more hits than the Beatles that day.
Here he is again, Reyes. Again, England's defending was not very good. That was Xavi. Now Rooney trying to cut off the pass towards the goalkeeper. Here's Lampard. Spain 1, England 0. If you joined us late, the left-back Del Olmo scored the goal from a corner after 9 minutes. And Gary Neville and Reyes are facing up to each other there. Maybe there is still some hangover from that game.
Yeah, Reyes just had a little sneaky kick at Neville as he played the ball away, but Neville's got a smile on his face. That's hit Nicky Butt, but it's still Xavi.
Fernando Torres. Raul. Now Salgado. Yakin. Alonso. Do pass it around with a great deal of assurance, Spain. Drawing England towards them. Alonso was fouled. Nicky Butt. Steve McLaren down on the touchline. Seems to me to be urging Rooney to drop a bit deeper. Maybe they feel that they're getting detached from the midfield, Rooney and Owen, Mark.
Well, they are, John, but also that there is no service from the midfield whatsoever. I can't, as good a player as he is, I can't remember talking about Frank Lampard. I can't remember a pass forward from him at the moment.
Reyes. There's Lampard there, who got back to make a challenge. Here he is again. Xavi. Yakin. Coming inside Ashley Cole. Xavi again. It's good play. He's beaten Nicky Butt. Well, he had. It's a corner.
This guy's run the game so far, Xavi. Helped by Alonso as well.
Absolutely. Juanito has gone up for the corner. Del Olmo is there too. Alonso coming towards the ball. England had pulled everybody back. This is Marchena. To Reyes. Looking for Raul. And now Del Olmo again. Well, he really has got the taste, hasn't he? The left back.
Well, he's had two headers, one of which he scored from. Just like a little left wing insurgents, and he's almost hit the target again.
Well, it's a position where Spain have needed a consistent performer. Raul Bravo played in Euro 2004, but they've used a lot of left backs over the last 2 or 3 seasons. Of course, the one who plays on this ground is Brazilian, isn't he?
Certainly is.
Now then, England have got a free kick around the centre circle. This is Beckham to Neville. Oh dear, oh dear. It's gone straight to Yakin. Fernando Torres. Nicky Butt. Owen. And again. Rooney to his left. So too Bridge here. Cole's making a forward run. Still Wayne Bridge. Oh. I think this is some of the poorest passing I've seen from an England team for a while, Mark.
Someone should tell them they're playing in white.
Mind you, equally guilty, Fernando Torres. And here's Rooney on the run. Well, he might have worked something here. It's Beckham. He's got Lampard to his right here. Oh, Owen was poised for that. It was headed out by Juanito. And now it's a foul by Ferdinand on Raul. And quickly taken, as most of the Spanish free kicks are. John Terry goes across to challenge Fernando Torres, who goes down.
Yeah, it's a good challenge. Very fair challenge. Nothing wrong with that whatsoever. Just wondering, John, you know, somewhat 8 minutes or so to half-time. I'm sure that Sven-Göran Eriksson's got loads of changes planned, but with England being so, or playing so poorly in the first half, wonder whether he wants to maybe give them another 15-20 minutes into the second half before he changes it.
Yeah, possibly. Del Olmo will take the throw for Spain on the far side. They lead 1-0. If you've also just come in, you may have not been aware that they've had a penalty saved by Robinson, the England goalkeeper, after he himself had been penalised by the referee, we thought somewhat unfairly. Other than that, it's been mostly Spain. But here's Nicky Butt with a quick free kick looking for Rooney. And Rooney pushes Casillas, and he goes into the railings, and the referee comes across towards Wayne Rooney. His second offence of the match, and the Spanish players are furious. Look at this. Oh, there's a real sense of injustice here. They're going after him. Rooney's walking away from the Spanish pursuing mob, but I think the referee is going to book him. Yellow card for Wayne Rooney, as if he hadn't already been warned.
Well, he had been warned, that's the key to it. Well, that early tackle on Joaquin, which was generally, we'd think if it had been a competitive game, it would have been a yellow anyway. There's no real reason for Rooney to nudge Casillas, especially with the fact that he sort of jumped into the cameraman and the Guardia Civil as well. So
I think the thing is, it was only a little nudge, but at the same time, because everybody's so close to the pitch in the Bernabeu, he didn't stop till he hit the railings.
Well, that's right. And also the fact that Casillas was already running, so his momentum's going to take him on.
Yellow cards in friendlies, by the way, don't mean any sort of risk of disqualification or suspension from a World Cup qualifier, but of course Rooney, if he were to collect another one in this game, would be off. Here's Bridge. Now David Beckham getting stuck in, and Rooney goes again. Oh, he's not, oh dear, he's knocked Marchena over this time.
I think Marchena's playing here. I don't think he caught him anything like the fact that Marchena's making out. No way. He's a centre-back, for goodness sake. And the referee's saying exactly that, you know, to the Spanish team. Get up, there's nothing wrong with you.
That point I take entirely, Mark, you're correct, but I have to say to you, Rooney has got to watch it here.
Oh yeah, there's not. The other thing as well, John, it's come a minute after the other incident, but honestly, the contact is, for me, is minimal, and the centre-back needs ticking off for that.
Well,
I think England will take him off, you know.
Well, I was about to say to you, he's treading a very thin and dangerous line here, Wayne Rooney. In fact, Ray Clements had a conversation with the fourth official down there, as though perhaps there may well be a substitution.
Yeah, it would make perfect sense.
Alan Smith, do you think?
Another worry.
Well, yes.
Sure.
Replacing a little bit fire with fire, maybe. But I know where you're coming from.
I was just thinking frying pan and fire straight away.
I know. Well, Alan Smith is coming to the line, and this looks like you calling it right on the spot there, Mark. A lot of Spanish flags and scarves being waved just at the present in front of us as we sit high up in one of the main imposing stands here in this lovely ground. Now Juanito has fouled Owen, and here comes Alan Smith, and yes, the number 9 is held up, and Wayne Rooney is taken out of the game by Sven-Göran Eriksson with 4 minutes left in the first half, simply because he looked like getting himself sent off.
Yeah. We've all made mistakes, especially when we're one so young. It's a good lesson for Rooney to make this, or to learn, I should say.
He threw his black armband down in...
He did throw his back, and the other thing about it, he didn't even sort of congratulate Alan Smith coming on, which will need a word from somebody later.
That wasn't a good episode,
no.
Mark, at all, in any shape or form. This is... well, it was Xavi, but he's given it away. This is Bridge now. Alan Smith in the centre-forward position. Rooney has also gone straight down the tunnel. Well, England are diving in a bit all over the place at the moment. That's Reyes who's gone down. I
think Frank Lampard might have just caught him. problem is with everybody diving, you never know how bad these guys are injured.
There was also a word, looked like a strong word to me, I don't know what he actually said to him, but by David Beckham to Wayne Rooney as he came off there, I noticed. How does that change the dynamics of the England attack, Mark? Does Alan Smith more of an orthodox striker than Rooney?
Most definitely, and not really a drop-off striker like Rooney is, but in all honesty, England have been so poor in the first half. I mean, I think whatever improvement would be great for that sector, because the ball from midfield to the forwards have been very, very poor indeed. In fact, well, there's just been no service, has there?
Reyes, which will concern Arsene Wenger, no doubt, doesn't look to be in very good shape here. Arsenal play on Saturday against West Bromwich Albion. There'll be a few managers keeping their fingers crossed tonight.
He's coming back on, John. It's just that stupid law, isn't it? When you're injured, receive treatment, you've got to go off the pitch and come back.
One day someone will explain that to me, or the wisdom of it.
Well, there is no wisdom in it, that's the problem.
Here's Raul rather. Reyes is indeed back on, he's over on this side of the pitch at the moment. Fernando Torres with John Terry, and a header back by Ashley Cole. Oh, and Ashley Cole has raised his hands and pushed Fernando Torres. Words have been exchanged as well. The assistant referee started to flag to draw the referee's attention to that. He's put it down again now.
You cannot raise your hands on the football pitch. How many lessons do you want to know in that?
Bridge to Smith. It's a friendly, but there's a bit of bad odour about it at the moment. Oh dear me, this is going to be another booking here. Ashley Cole was already having a bit of a war with Fernando Torres, and then he went into Salgado and got a yellow card.
I think he caught the ball, but I think he also caught Salgado, and Salgado's made the most of it. He's up, he's on his feet, he's fine.
I think Spain have recognised that England are on a fairly short fuse at the moment, Mark, and they're making what they can of it.
Most definitely, most definitely.
We've played the full 45 minutes at the end of the first half in the Bernabeu, and I think it would be a good thing for the referee to blow for half-time and let one or two people out there cool down a bit.
I think also England should concentrate on playing football. It's something they've not done for 45 minutes.
Well, they're running around in ever-increasing circles at the moment. There's Fernando Torres. And he's gone down now after a challenge by Ferdinand.
Nah, nothing wrong with him, John, either. Well done, the referee. Just get on with it.
Lampard.
I just saw the challenge. There's nothing wrong with Torres.
Cole, and then Lampard going into Raul, and the referee having to step in again here.
Actually, Raul was leaving the pitch. Raul thought it was half-time.
Well, everybody's a bit confused down there now. They're trying to get the ball back off Salgado. That's what caused the latest little rumpus.
Well, if the referee had any sense, he would just blow his whistle for half-time now, John. Let England go in there, let them cool down a little bit, because as you rightly said before, it certainly is simmering this.
I was going to say, we're not having the sedate friendly that many expected, are we?
It's great, isn't it?
Oh yes, a bit of action. And now he does blow the whistle. Then turns back in towards the pitch and talks to David Beckham.
I think he's probably just had a word, which is just get them in there and have a word yourself and calm down a little bit.
I think there was a message sent out to David Beckham by the referee as he blew the half-time whistle there. Certainly tempers were frayed in that last 15 minutes. Spain leading by the goal from Del Horno on 9 minutes. Paul Robinson saved a penalty from Raul, otherwise it would have been 2. You can see there how the goal came about. And at half-time, with a as you say, a need for everybody to just cool down slightly. The half-time score in the Bernabeu is Spain 1, England 0.
It's the trouble with friendlies, they're so uncompetitive.
Yeah, very much. But the Spanish have given the English an education. They really have, in touch, technique, but above all, passing. If you haven't got the ball at this level, then you haven't got a lot. The Spanish passing has been absolutely brilliant, and to be fair, English passing has been abysmal. And the frustration has spilled over, and there's been far, far too many flashpoints from an England perspective in the last 10 minutes of the match.
Yeah, England have lost their heads, haven't they?
Yeah, it's been very frustrating. I mean, the passing's been sloppy, as Alan says. We've never really once had any spells in the game where we've kept the ball well, and I think that's what's led to the frustration with Wayne Rooney at the end. We could have been 2-3 goals down in this game. We just not passed the ball as well as what we should have done.
Yeah. We were saying before the match about the progress the English have made, but when you're playing against a team like this, I can't remember or recall watching the Spanish being so good. Everything about them, the domination in the middle of the park, and they've dominated by just passing it, by getting it, playing it quick, getting it back, and they've got so many quality players.
They've used the wing so well, with Joaquin on the wing. You know, Xavi and Xabi Alonso in midfield have just completely run the game. They've dictated the play. They've been able to get the ball wide to Reyes, to Joaquin.
There's one clip I think we'll show it later, where Ferdinand's got the ball in centre back position, and he's using his hands, and he's like pleading, please come and take it off me.
Nobody wants it.
No, nobody wants it because they're playing so badly. So eventually, he plays it back to the keeper, and that tells his own story.
And it's also not the first time England have conceded from a set piece.
They've just got into a way of playing at set plays that suddenly it's like indecision is final. They cannot clear their lines. It isn't a particularly great corner. You know, it's shambolic. Nobody picking up. The keeper doesn't cover himself in glory, and
Delordo is very strong in the air.
Soft goal.
Look, he ends up with Nicky Butt here, but Nicky Butt takes his eye off him. He just takes a step back, and he manages to get a free header on it. You know, and from set pieces, we've looked like we could concede pretty much every time they've had a free kick or a corner.
As I say, every time you lose a goal, then the next time you play, when the ball comes in there in the box, it's like indecision is final, and you just don't know what you're doing. And what you need, you've got to have strong characters in there that are getting the thing organised and making sure that the first ball is going well clear of where you're defending, and that does not happen.
Yeah, I mean, they nearly scored from another set play, which would have been a penalty, but that would have been unjust, wouldn't it? I mean, Robinson definitely got the ball.
It's a joke. I mean, it was a great bit of play, but they've frequently done this, opened us up. Raul just gets to it first, but Paul Robinson does ever so well. He gets out to it and he gets a great touch on it. And if you look at Raul's reaction,
well placed.
Yeah, of course he's well placed. And Raul's reaction, the first thing he wants to do is get after the ball again, so he doesn't even appeal for it. But the referee, you know, and lucky enough, justice was done.
It's a great pass from Reyes. Great pass. Sees the pass, but like Jamie has just said, he gets all of the ball. Ball goes miles away from where Raul. Nobody. I mean, this is a great pass. Quality pass.
Fantastic. They've done that on numerous occasions, haven't they? They've
just opened them up. But one, it was a phenomenal save, and two, an even better celebration. Justice was done. Great save from Paul Robinson. He gets up, and then he goes to punch there, again, and then he decides, well, wait a minute, I better get the ball first. It's so good.
It's not been much to cheer, but it was a great save.
Yeah, it was a great save.
Yeah, it was a great save. It's a great reaction. Great reaction.
Really good.
It's a decent height for him, but he's guessed the right way, and it's a great save, no doubt about it.
I think if that had gone in, it could have ended up anything.
Yeah.
It could have been 4-5, anything at all.
The first thing the England players started complaining about that decision, then they seemed to lose their heads all over the field, and in particular Wayne Rooney. We've seen it from him before. He's fiery.
Silly. I mean, this is the tackle. This is a stupid tackle right in front of the referee.
That was earlier, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was early on, but he's had a kick. All right, you know, you've had the warning, learn your lesson. This is crazy. Casillas is the momentum here, just to push, but not only is it crazy, it is dangerous. You know, conceivably, Casillas here could have done himself a lot of harm.
I think this one, Marchesne has made a massive thing of it. This is 1 minute after the Casillas incident, and he really has. He's caught him. It was a bit dangerous, but I don't think there was a lot to it, to be honest.
But then just to compound it, the manager takes him off. Why does he not just wait till half time?
Do you think he's made
a mistake?
It's a bigger incident than it would have been?
It's a major talking point now because he's taking Rooney off. And you can just leave him till half time.
What about not a great reaction to the sending off?
No, terrible. Great player, but still very, very young. And
he's only just turned 19.
Well, he's got to learn. You've got to learn. You know, you've got to learn from these mistakes.
Do you think perhaps, Jamie, that Sven's saying, I want to teach him a lesson, he's got to learn, and this perhaps is the best way to do it?
I think that's what he's trying to do. For me, I would have kept him on the pitch. You've got 4 minutes to go in the game. I just think you're making a bigger incident than what it is. You know, people are going to make a massive thing of it anyway because it's Wayne Rooney, but just let the game go 4 minutes time. Now it's just going to be huge.
Tremendous spotlight on a young
Of course it is. He's a young boy, he's going to make
that decision is just going to accentuate the spot.
And keeping up to date here, it's been one-way traffic in the first half.
The word education comes to mind again. Just control of the game, but with pace as well. You know, down the right-hand side, they've been prolific. You know, with the pace, and it is. To me, it's what England have got to aspire to. The English players have got to say to themselves, well, we've seen what it's like at the highest level here. We've got to be better technically.
Most of these players, England players, have played at the highest level, club-wise. And
when you see Spain today, it makes you wonder why they can't.
Well, exactly.
On the international stage, you know, major championships. It's amazing because they've played fantastic football today.
They've played at the highest level, but they haven't played like that. They haven't had control of the ball and control of the game like that. I mean, that was as good as I've seen anybody in the last sort of 12 months. I mean, it was absolutely fantastic.
Has England's ineptitude surprised you, Jamie, though? Their bad passing and right through the side?
I think we started very, very sloppy. We never once got a good passage of play, a good bit of passing going. But for Spain, have just from the start, they just got off at such a good tempo. They've managed to cut through us at will with intricate passes, getting the ball wide. I think we've had a problem where David Beckham's tucked in a little bit too much. They managed to get the ball out to Delorno, who's then passed it on to Reyes and left Gary Neville quite isolated. And he's had a problem with Reyes all game.
Okay, the most important aspect is if you're under the cosh, when you get it, you keep it. The number of times that they've got it, I mean, Nicky Butt in the first half, who to me is a great player, gave it away about 20 times in the first 15 minutes, and it's just not like him, And the most important thing now in the second half is to come out and play, but basically keep a hold of it.
Let's get an alternative view. Real Madrid's Jonathan Woodgate. He's been injured all season, but he's fit enough to talk to Garth Crooks.
Well, Jonathan, what did you make of the so-called friendly?
Well, you know, in football, there's no such thing as a friendly. It's been competitive, which is good. Both teams have put a display on, but disappointing that Spain are winning 1-0 at the moment.
There have been times when England have looked as though they've been chasing shadows. Does that surprise you?
Well, to be fair, the Spanish team knock it around well, and I think the leagues are very different. And the way they play, the Premiership is more hustle and bustle, but the Spanish league, they get down and play. But to be all credit to Spain, they've played well.
In your opinion, how do England get back into this game?
Score some goals, I hope. They just need to get hold of the ball, I think. Spain have dominated, if I'm going to be honest, like most people would say, but I think England will get back into the game, no problem.
You know Paul Robinson very, very well. Did you think it was a penalty?
No, I didn't think it was a penalty at all. I think Paul got 2 hands to it, but give credit to him. He made an outstanding save, which everyone knows he can do.
Now, you've been at the Bernabeu for a while yourself now. It must be very frustrating for you because you've not played yet, as I understand it. When are you going to be fit?
Hopefully towards the end of January. It's been hard for me, but you know, in football you stay strong and it makes you a better person, a better player.
We wish you well.
Thanks very much. Cheers.
Yeah, it would be good to see him back on the field.
He's a class player.
I mean, we're saying England have come out early, probably to do
they've been sent out early
to do a bit of passing practice.
I think in the second half they've got to get tighter, quicker than the Spanish, not allow them to control the match, to control the tempo. But I have to say, it has been a privilege to watch the Spanish play in the first half. I thought it was absolutely fantastic and fascinating.
Technically, they've been very good. You know, Joaquin, some of his bits of skill have been top class. It's been a very entertaining game, as Jonathan says there. For a friendly, it's been top class.
Doesn't look like, we're looking out at the team on the pitch out there. I don't know whether we can get any shots of it, but it doesn't look like England have made any changes. Smith, of course, came on for Rooney just before half-time.
Well, I think the manager has made the right decision if he has kept that strongest team on, because I think they were so bad in the first half. You wouldn't want to take that into your next game, which is a long way off. What they want to do for the first 15 minutes anyway is try and play strongest side and get back into the game at some stage. But you know, it certainly isn't going to be easy because the Spanish played so well in the first half. Their confidence must be sky high.
See, Spain have made it. I think Raul's just I think Raul's give away and
Looks
Guti's
like-
come on.
Looks like everyone's ready. So let's rejoin Mark Lawrence and John Watson.
Yes, England, as they finished the first half, with Alan Smith obviously on for Wayne Rooney, but 3 changes for Spain. The defender Ibanez wearing 12 has replaced Marchena. Guti, the blonde midfield player from Real Madrid, wearing number 14 has come on, and so has number 16 Albert Luque from Deportivo, and they've replaced Raul and Fernando Torres, so it's all change up front for Spain. Guti can do one of several jobs, but he started off just behind the main striker here. Spain now playing from the right, and this is Alonso, who spreads it wide to the far side. Xavi, and again little touch from Guti. We ought to report as well that our colleagues from the written press over to our right took a rather dim view, as I think we did, of the fact that Rooney threw the black armband to the floor as he was being taken off the pitch or substituted. And the black armbands, I stressed earlier, in case you weren't with us at the very beginning, are for the memory of Emlyn Hughes, the former England captain who died recently, and also Keith Weller, who passed away a day or two later, both after long illnesses. This is Ashley Cole, who is also on a yellow card. Well, Rooney's won't matter now because he's off anyway, but Cole's on a yellow card. And here's Alan Smith wearing 19. Lampard. Smith was fouled after the ball had gone. How do you read this reorganisation of the Spanish, Mark?
Well, I think just basically, John, Luque probably play up front in his own. Guti just sort of took in to that Raul position, playing off the centre forward. I'm surprised actually that Reyes has actually stayed on. I thought he might have gone off.
Now here's the free kick by David Beckham. This time it's a short one to Ashley Cole. Beckham again. Down towards Gary Neville, and England will get the throw there in a good position. Nobody was quite quick enough to react when Neville first picked the ball up, so he had to pause, and he's thrown it back to Beckham. Now Ferdinand, cherry square of him.
I think interesting the fact that Sven-Göran Eriksson, obviously, because it was such an inept first half display, he hasn't made any changes other than the enforced one really with Smith for Rooney just before half time, and I think he's saying to him, get out and prove yourself and start playing for us.
Absolutely. This is Smith on the ball at the moment. Lampard. Beckham's in a good position coming in here. That's the header back towards Michael Owen, and it'll be a corner to England. Beckham short to Neville. Owen Smith coming in from the far side. He scored one England goal so far. Alan Smith, that was at Villa Park against Portugal. He's won 12 caps now, including tonight. That's his header.
Well, those 2 incidents already are an improvement for England on the first half performance. Beckham trying to play Owen in with a header, and the cross, short corner cross from Gary Neville, which was decent, and the Smith header at the far post.
Well, Spain may have done England a favour by taking off Raul and Fernando Torres, because they look lively. Anyway, here's Nicky Butt to Lampard. Bridge. Still haven't seen any sign of Rooney rejoining the substitutes on the England bench.
He's probably in a very, very cold bath, John.
Here's the goal scorer, Delorno. Guti. This is Xavi. Chance to shoot.
Yeah, good build-up play from the Spanish. Great vision from Guti, spotting Xavi, and he wasn't quite sure whether to pass or whether to shoot. In the end, it's a comfortable save for Robinson.
They'll be on opposite sides on Saturday, Guti and Xavi, if they're in their starting lineups for Barcelona and Real Madrid. That match is being played in the Nou Camp. This is Lampard.
It's no surprise, is it, that Raul hasn't started the second half, bearing in mind that match on Saturday.
Well, it'll be interesting to see whether Ericsson... here's Beckham now. Decides to replace Beckham and or Owen.
I think he'll do both within about 15 or 20 minutes.
Sliced by Rio Ferdinand, picked up by Ashley Cole. Now some nasty shouts in Cole's direction there. One has to remind everybody that there was a complaint today by the English FA to UEFA about some racist chanting directed at England's black players during the under-21 international last night, which they lost 1-0. The goal scored by Arsenal's Fabregas. And Ashley Cole seemed to be on the other end of some unwelcome shouts just then. Owen. Beckham. Gary Neville. Just looked there as though it might open up for England. And you may have heard Tony Gubber's report from Easter Road earlier. The game finished that way. Scotland 1, Sweden 4. Tommy Burns was temporarily in charge of the Scotland team tonight. There's talk of Walter Smith taking the job, but whoever takes it, you wouldn't envy the mark, would you?
I think his surname will have to be Houdini.
Another crushing defeat that for Scotland. And Sweden weren't at full strength either. Here's Smith to Beckham. Comes off the chest of Nicky Butt, and England taking quite a long time to get the ball out of their own half here.
Well, there's good pressure by the Spaniards here. They've pushed up very, very tightly on them, trying to win the ball back in England's half.
Headed back by Delorno. There are some more substitutes getting their act together down by the touchline for both sides, actually. I think we can expect a flurry of changes very shortly. Now there's Wayne Rooney. Don't quite know what that is in his hand. Offer or something. Anyway, it's David Beckham to take the free kick for England here. Smith hovering in the area. Headed away by Delormo. And then a touch from Ibanez, who is sometimes known by his nickname Pablo here in Spain. It's his first cap tonight, actually. He's in his first year at Atletico Madrid, Pablo. This is Lampard. And that's out of play. Really slipshod some of the England passing tonight, Mark.
Well, it's just been awful throughout the whole of the game so far. And it's not just one player, John, it's nearly all the players, especially the midfield players. I can't remember any of the midfield players passing the ball with any kind of, well, anything really. It's just, it's gone all over the place, isn't it, all night from them. And not really under great pressure.
This is Xavi, who's been one of the outstanding players for Spain. Delorno. Is he going to shoot? Oh no, he's going to play it into Guti.
I'm not sure actually whether that pass was meant for Guti. I think it was meant for the other Spanish player further over on the right-hand side.
Xavi. Guti. Now they're trying to get Luque into the game here. Scored recently against Belgium in a World Cup qualifier, Albert Luque. three England players preparing to come on are Jamie Carragher, Jermaine Jenas and Sean Wright-Phillips. Ericsson says he wants FIFA to change that rule back. I wish they'd go the other way and limit it to 3 like they do in competitive games. It'd make it easier for us. Anyway, Reyes on the ball for a moment or two there. And that was Alonso who took the free kick to Xavi. Crowd making their own amusement at the moment. Xavi. Guti. Salgado wants it out on the right. Guti's getting plenty of touches, having just come on. He's found Reyes. Salgado, Delorno, Xavi, Guti. They just can't get the ball off Xavi, the number 8. Joaquin, corner. Well, there's going to be a corner to Spain, followed by another Spanish substitution, but we'll deal with the corner first. Luque by the penalty spot. Juanuto's made a run. This has come out to Reyes. And we're going to see Miguel Angel Angulo, an uncapped player from Valencia who was linked with Arsenal before the season started. I think it might have been his decision not to go, and anyway he's going to replace an Arsenal player, Jose Antonio Reyes. Angulo will be wearing number 18. Now Angulo can play either side, but I think he's going across to the right, Mark.
Yeah, Joaquin will just come play on the left, John.
Yes, well, Joaquin, we've seen him on both sides as well, haven't we? So it won't make a lot of difference. Ashley Cole in attack for England with Alan Smith. Nicky Butt. Landed on top of his opponent there, but Spain bring the ball away. That was a good pass from Juanito. Little interchange there between Alonso and Xavi. Xavi, number 8. Already, I think, well ahead in the man of the match stats for me. Anyway, here's Guti. Oh, the crowd are enjoying it now from Spain. Delorno. Guti, England on the back foot again here. Joaquin. Well, there's plenty of passes. Spain don't seem to be going very far until that free kick for Guti gives them a chance to push players forward. And England have to bring people back. Sean Wright-Phillips is waiting to come on, and so is Jermaine Jenas. And David Beckham, as we thought he might, is going to leave the field and give the captain's armband to Michael Owen. Beckham has played for an hour, being watched from his own private box by his mother and his sister and by Victoria, his wife. A bit late for the kids, but he won't be on the pitch any longer. He'll probably go and join them in the box, I would imagine. Anyway, here comes Jermaine Genius.
Yeah, he's on for Lampard, isn't he?
Lampard came off. In the meantime, I was just looking at how quickly Spain got on with it once that change was made. This is Joaquin. Gary Neville. Oh, the referee runs up to Neville, or does he run up to... Neville obviously thought there was a bit of overreaction there. But the free kick has been given to Spain. Some very, very unpleasant sounds when Sean Wright-Phillips came on the field. One has to report that, sadly, after what's happened. Beckham was holding his rib when he went off, I've been told.
Another thing as well about that challenge, I'm not sure whether Neville actually caught Joaquin.
Right, well, it's a free kick to Spain. And Alonso through the crowd. Kicked away by Nicky Butt. Oh, there are some chants that we should not be hearing, or we wouldn't want to hear. Especially after last night and the under-21 business, some of the... David Beckham holding his ribs. There's an awful lot happening in the middle. It's got nothing to do with the football, I might tell you, and I'm trying to keep up with it. Beckham's holding his ribs. Carragher's trying to come on. Wright-Phillips is being abused by the crowd, and Ferdinand is the man coming off to make way for Carragher.
Well, Beckham got that injury in the first half, John, if you remember, somewhat probably halfway through, so whether he's got another knock on his ribs or they've stiffened up, I'm not sure.
The England players trained in T-shirts yesterday on the Let's Kick Racism Out of Football theme on this pitch, but unfortunately that message doesn't seem to have got across to a section of the crowd. This is Delormeau, and that is Sean Wright-Phillips. He's robbed him of the ball. Owen's waiting for a pass. Instead it's Joaquin. Luque down the centre. Guti. Ahead of him is Xavi. And outside they're waiting for Salgado. And his cross goes behind the goal.
It was a good break, wasn't it? You know, as much as the thing about the Spanish, even though the changes they've made, it's get the ball, pass it, move on to another position. It really has been an education.
We're going to see Matthew Hudson come on now for England. Really does kind of mess up the shape of the game when there are so many changes on both sides, Mark. You don't get any real thread, do you?
You lose the will to live, John.
Well, this is Jamie Carragher now playing alongside John Terry. Smith, Nicky Butt, Genius, who started the last match in Azerbaijan, on the right. He's playing central midfield at the moment. Wright-Phillips has replaced Beckham out here. Delormeau.
I tell you what will be interesting for England if they can get the ball to Sean Wright-Phillips. The race is chanting apart, and see if he can have a go at Delormeau. I'm not sure he's the best defender in the world when somebody with the pace of Wright-Phillips is running at him.
Delormeau. Joaquin. Oh, so good on the ball. Not so good at passing it.
You were saying?
Just got there, Mark. It's close. 9th substitution coming up, the 5th for England. Matthew Hudson for John Terry. Jenas. Delormeau coming up on the left. Wright Phillips with the tackle. More unwanted noises.
It's pathetic, isn't it?
It's tiresome, it's unnecessary, and it's completely out of order. Delormeau. Yakin. And England have got 2 new centre-backs on now, so that'll take a bit of settling down, I would have thought. Goal kick.
Well, I think the whole sort of shape and structure of the team's going to take a little bit of while, and 2 new midfield players on as well, Wright Phillips and Jermaine Jenas, Carragher, obviously Upson as well, and Smith was the one earlier in the first half for Wayne Rooney.
He's only got 1 more to make now, Ericsson, hasn't he, I think, to get to the maximum of 6.
I hope so, I've run out of ink.
Yeah, you've got to try and remember the names of the ones who've gone off as well, Mark. Here's Neville. Well, it's Alan Smith who dealt with Yakin there. He's on his feet again now, though. That was good play by Guti. This is Luque. Angulo had a hand in that as well. There he is now. Oof. Angulo keen to make an impression with the flowing blonde hair. Meantime, Spain produce another substitute from the bench. This is Orbais from Atletico Bilbao, who's going to come on as a defender. There's the cross for Luque. Oh, that's dreadful, the way they're shouting every time Sean Wright Phillips gets anywhere near the ball. This is Xavi Alonso of Liverpool. Now it's picked up by Jermaine Jenas of Newcastle. Bridge looking for Cole. That was where Angulo tried to sneak in on the other side of Matthew Upson. Xavi. Luque with Carragher. So still, Spain 1, England 0. That's the way it's been since the 9th minute, when Delormeau scored with a header. Cole. Jenas. Alan Smith's made a run right to left. This is Gary Neville. Wright Phillips with Delormeau. Wright Phillips has come on as a sub for the 3rd time. He scored when he came on at Newcastle against Ukraine, you may remember. Here's Orbais now, coming on for Xabi Alonso, so he'll be resting now before the next Liverpool game. Both teams 5 substitutes on, 1 to go. It's a bad kick by Casillas. It's gone straight to Ashley Cole. Michael Owen's waiting in the centre, so was Nicky Butt there well forward. There's Bridge getting involved, and Jenas. Wright Phillips. Neville. They're appealing for offside, but it's not. It's Owen. just wonder whether Eriksson will make Defoe his last substitute. Here's Smith, chance for England, goes down, looks at the referee who says no, and Spain suddenly break away with Guti.
Well, he just seemed to be able to turn the defender with strength, and the referee was in a very, very good position, but was in a good position to see the first penalty, and he still gave it.
It was a rare glimpse of a chance for England, wasn't it? Here's Salgado. Xavi. Orbaiz. Guti wanting to orchestrate things in there. Here's a chance maybe for Xavi to do just that. Number 12 there, Pablo.
The other problem with all the substitutions, John, as well, is that the game just becomes so disjointed. It's almost impossible for these lads who come on as substitutes to make any real impact on the match.
Absolutely. I'm struggling to think of a meaningful subject to bring up with you, Mark, at the moment, because there's just nothing happening. Guti, Xavi, Angulo. What you can say is we've seen some nimble footwork from this number 8, Xavi of Barcelona.
Yeah, I am surprised he's still on, and also, of course, Salgado with this unbelievable fixture at the weekend between Barcelona and Madrid.
All really blown out of the usual height or above it, because last weekend Barcelona lost for the first time and Real won 6-1. It's really set that match up now for Saturday night this week, because the gap is 4 points, as I said. It's Casillas. Pablo. Angolo. Xavi. Guti. Yakin. Neville diving in. Yakin gets away from him. Guti's in a good position. Nicky Butt just shutting things down there.
And I think Matthew Upson did well as well. He came and just stood his ground and just really sent Joachim into areas he didn't really want to go in.
Alan Smith's lost the ball over there, though. This is Yakin, who's giving Gary Neville a torrid time at the moment. Neville's handled it this time.
I think Gary Neville fouled him as well before, which the referee quite rightly let play just go on as Spain had the advantage.
Well, Pablo's coming up for this, and so is Juanito. Angulo. Orbaiz. Oh dear me, Ashley Cole on the other end of the abuse now. Alan Smith, and now it's Wright Phillips, and it's Gary Neville's cross, and Casillas claims it quite comfortably with nearly 75 minutes gone in the Bernabeu, and as yet, oh dear, Xavi's gone down under a challenge from Ashley Cole. Mark?
I think the ball was there to be won though, John, to be quite honest with you, and Xavi's in okay for Ashley Cole. He's not writhing around on the ground and feigning any sort of injury, and Ashley Cole did win the ball. I think it's just the fact that it looked very aggressive, the tackle.
Well, he came right through him to win it, didn't he? And he is on a yellow card, you have to say that.
You do wonder though if you know, with the black players in England's team, it must affect you, mustn't it, when you get the ball every time? It's drive you mad.
Well, it's certainly something that we hoped at one time was being stamped out. Massive efforts have been made to do that, but certainly on the evidence of tonight and last night, there's a long way to go. Guti for Spain. This is Wright Phillips, but Guti comes away with it. Delorno. Xavi. That was Orbaiz out to Angelo. Well, England just haven't had a period in the game when they've been able to set the play up and really test Spain.
Well, never had the ball for long enough. That's been the great problem.
Orbaiz has had a lot of the ball since he came on. This is now Yakin. Salgado joins the attack. England are going to bring on their last substitute, and it will be Jermaine Defoe. This is Wright Phillips. If anything, the abuse is getting worse.
Yeah. Just remind me what year it is.
Well, disappointing midfield from England's point of view, Mark. Haven't really set the play up or got much going. Genius doing his best to do it there with Smith. Bridge. Ashley Cole completely missed the ball. Maybe things are affecting him.
Yeah, I think it did bobble as well, in fairness to him.
Angulo. Oh, he's through here for Spain. Just couldn't keep his composure. Miguel Angel Angulo on his first appearance at full international level.
Yeah, the other thing as well, he never even looked up and saw Yakin, who's in our picture now, who was trying like anything just to get himself in the penalty area to give Angulo an option.
Ashley Cole is being taken off to be replaced by Jermaine Defoe. Of course, Luis Aragonés, the 66-year-old coach of Spain, haven't seen many shots of him tonight down there on the touchline, but he, of course, has slightly drummed up a lot of discussion about racism on at least 2 occasions.
I think England have just got what Wayne Bridge has gone to left back naturally. It looks like trying to sort of play 3 up front, England, which Owen, Defoe and Smith, with probably Defoe on the left-hand side at the moment.
Luque right across the pitch to Delorno. This is Yakin. Genius challenging Orbaiz. Forward by Gary Neville. So foul by Nicky Butt, and now the last substitution, because it will be the 12th of the night, looks as though it's going to take place, and Yakin, who's played pretty well for Spain on the flanks, is going to come off, and Romero, who is normally a left back, late developer, made his debut at 29. He's 33 now from the Deportivo club at La Coruña. He's come on wearing number 15. And in fact, he is going to play on the left side here. by Delorno, who's gone into the centre of the defence, if I'm not mistaken. Angulo. Nicky Butt fouling again, and then kicking the ball away. Look, dear oh dear, frustration boiling over. 10 minutes left.
Sorry, Joe, it's going to feel like an hour this last 10 minutes.
Well, I was going to say to you, what have we learned from this? But I think I know the answer. There's more petulance than progress down there tonight. Matthew Upson getting a touch there. Wayne Bridge, as you say, has gone to play left back since Cole went off. Here's Neville. Forward by Smith. Right, Phillips trying to cut inside from here. Now, no, it's gone in favour of the goalkeeper.
Yeah, free kick to Spain. I think probably feet up from Sean Wright Phillips. The ball he had to go for, mind. Perfectly entitled to. Casillas just beat him to it.
So Michael Owen is going to do the full 90 minutes.
I think we can assume from that he doesn't start for Madrid at the weekend.
Also took over the captain's armband when Beckham left the pitch. Hasn't had a sniff of a goal tonight though, Michael Owen, has he really?
Not a chance. Not one. I can't honestly remember a pass for him.
Shots on target. Spain 7, England 0. Alan Smith's header over, the only half chance off target. England trail 4-1. Do we need to say any more, Mark?
Certainly not.
Does beg the question once again whether international football, be it a friendly in the middle of the season or a tournament at the end, whether it's suffering now because of the massive accent on the Champions League.
I don't think there's any doubt about that. I think we saw the evidence of that very much so in 2004 Euros.
Several of these players will be involved in high-profile league games at the weekend, as they were last weekend, and then they'll be back into Champions League again next week.
Yeah, so it really is an overriding factor.
Nicky Butt. There's Michael Owen. Free kick to Spain. Jamie Carragher on Luque. The game rather petering out. Spain not properly stretched once they'd taken the lead. Del Olmo's pass nearly picked out Guti there in the centre.
Well, they haven't possessed the same cutting edge up front, undoubtedly. Luque hasn't really got himself in the game for Spain. Obviously Joaquin going off and Reyes going off, Fernando Torres as well. It was evident it was always going to be that way. But they have kept possession of the ball extremely well all night tonight, Spanish.
Header on by Smith. Is there a chance here for England? Owen's in there. We live in hope. It's going to come to Wright Phillips. If England can't pull something out now, Spain will record their 6th win in 20 internationals against England. England have won 11 of the previous 19. All Spain's victories bar one have been in friendlies. This is also Eriksen's 48th match in charge, and it's at the moment looking like his 8th defeat. 6 of those coming in friendlies. Word between the coach and Sammy Lee. Only 5 minutes left in the Bernabeu for England to snatch a draw. Mr. Rooney. Do you have any further thoughts?
Well, I was just while we had the complete silence, I was just trying to think of some positive lessons tonight for England, and I think certainly that the biggest one, regardless of the way they've played or they've not performed, would be you cannot let frustration at this level ever really surface.
Michael Owen, Genus, Wright Phillips. Smith's in the centre with Defoe. I've hardly mentioned Defoe's name since he's been on.
Just developing that a little bit further, John. I mean, this had really been a competitive game tonight. England could have been down to 9 men quite easily.
Yes, that probably is something that ought to be debated. Here's Smith.
Well, they've not played well, have they? Which, you know, every team has spells where they just don't play well. It's been an absolutely abject performance, but there are other things you can learn from tonight.
Well, as we enter the 88th minute, England have a throw-in on the far side. Defoe. Here he is again, combining with Bridge. Guti got a foot in there. And Spain clear. Very difficult to get any semblance of shape to the game when 6 players are changed over in that comparatively short space of time. Applies to both sides in that sense, but Spain had played some pleasing football before all the changes. This is Genus. Good play by Bridge. 3 upfield for England.
Just in the night there, it's unfold before you see a semblance of play. You think, go on, the next thing is England give the ball away. They've done so consistently all night from the very first minute.
Romero there for Spain. That's going to be a free kick given away by Jamie Carragher. Foul on Xavi. And we are in the 90th minute. Well, we will be in a few seconds.
You were wishing it was a 90th minute. That was the difference.
Sorry, I mustn't put this game away totally, but I'm just trying to find positives. Xavi will take the free kick for Spain. This is Angulo. Forward by Salgado. Luque is there. The 4th official, Senor Caballo, is holding the board.
Is he still away?
Just about. Guti on to Xavi. Romero. Wright Phillips. And right on the 90-minute mark, he decides there are 3 minutes of overtime.
He's obviously got a sense of humour, not.
Spain 1, England 0. The goal scored in the 9th minute. The other major incident of the first half, well, there were two really. Paul Robinson's penalty save from Raul, and the petulance of Wayne Rooney that led to him being replaced by his own coach. Here's Xavi. Running here is Luque. He's got Carragher to beat. And he's forced a corner right at the end of the match. Don't think Spain are in a hurry to send too many players forward for this.
It'll be interesting to see how many players actually have in the opposition penalty area when the ball comes in as well.
No, wasted. This will be England's first defeat since Euro 2004. I suppose if you count the Portugal match as a draw, for their first defeat since they lost to France.
I think it's the manner of the defeat though, which is the hardest thing to take though.
Now here are Spain. Guti. Luque. Goal kick given. A poor kick by Robinson. It went straight to Angulo, and now there's 1 minute of stoppage time remaining here in the Bernabeu Stadium in Madrid. What a different picture to the last time England came here, when our presenter scored 4 goals. Here's Delormeau, who scored 1 tonight anyway. Guti, Angulo to his right. Now Salgado. Anything more to say, Mark?
No, I think everything has been said, John, and say very, very poor performance. Discipline was a real problem as well tonight, and England just haven't really played whatsoever, but the way they've given the ball away will be a real worry.
Here's Sean Wright-Phillips in what may be the last attack of the game. England get a throw. Referee is checking his watch as we speak. So forward goes Jamie Carragher into the box. Genius is there too. That's Alan Smith flicking it on. Spain getting it half away. And finally, the Greek referee brings an undistinguished friendly to a close. It's Spain 1, England 0. And really, Gary, that's all I've got to say.
Yes, John, there was very little to enjoy about that second half. And,
well, they said that you scored 4 goals when you played here the last time for England. If you'd played tonight, you only got 4 kicks.
Oh, you're right there.
It was definitely a footballing lesson that they had, and I think that the Spanish were excellent in possession, but at this level, at some stage, you've got to have control of the ball, and England failed to do that. The passing was just so bad, it was almost untrue.
I can't remember England playing as poorly as that in terms of keeping the ball. They never had an attack. They had one shot that was off target in the whole match. It was...
No, the ball retention was very, very poor. And you looked at it from the Spanish side, theirs was so good. Yeah. Xavi in midfield gave as good a midfield performance as I've seen in years. He was brilliant. I'd like to see how many times he gave the ball away today, and I think you can count it in one hand. Yeah. He was brilliant tonight. I think that goes for most of the Spanish team tonight. Yeah.
But what happens is when you've got it and you keep a hold of it, that alleviates the pressure, right? Because, you know, if it's coming towards your back for time and time again, eventually you will make a mistake.
Yeah, the Spanish were terrific, but unsavoury aspect was the reaction of the crowd. I mean, it was like going back to the 70s and 80s and the racism
I thought they were brilliant on the pitch, but despicable off it. I mean, what is all that about? One word to describe it would be absolutely, well, 2 words, absolutely pathetic.
Deplorable in many ways. What about Wayne Rooney? He was taken off by Sven-Göran just before half-time. Lost his head at times, but
a lot of frustration from him tonight. I think that was because he just thought he wasn't getting in the game, he wasn't getting the ball. That was his first high tackle. The second one, I think, was the incident with Casillas, which there's no need to do it. We know what a great player Wayne Rooney is, but although in a way the spark that he's got makes him the player that he is, he's got to learn that he can't do that.
Got to remember he is very
well. That's his saving grace tonight, is that he's very, very young. But we've seen it before. He's had 1 or 2 flashpoints.
This is when he sees he's being taken off. And this is probably the worst thing of all, the fact that he throws away that.
This is not good.
Yeah.
I don't think it was good to bring him off. I think for the sake of 4 minutes left to half time, I think he's just left him on and let the game go. But I think you've made a bigger issue than what
threw the armband away, and I'm sure he didn't realise what that armband was all about at that stage. But
well, the big thing is that if you learn from it, if you learn from that experience, then he'll be all right. But he's definitely got to control his temper when things aren't going that well.
Well, if you came in late, let's remind you of how Spain scored that only goal. It came from Del Orno and it came from a corner.
They've had problems with set plays for a long time. Said at half time that if you've been leaking goals from this sort of situation, you get uncertain, you make mistakes, there's no marking there, it's chaos, there's a lot of whites in there, but they just don't pick up. And
should Robinson have done better?
I think he should.
It's your goalkeeper, you're
yeah, I mean, the ball's bounced in the area there as well, and he's taken a big step to the left. He's a bit unsighted with Raul, and he's not really got off his feet as well as what we'd like, but he made up for it with a penalty save straight after it. But it was a bad goal, and another goal from a corner, and the marking wasn't good enough. Nicky Butt ends up with Del Orno, who scored the goals, who's one of their best attacking players from corners, and I think that I'd like to see Rio Ferdinand or John Terry picking up one of our most dominant headers of the ball.
It's all about organisation. You get organised, and somebody has got to take control, whether it's the centre back, the captain, or the keeper. Somebody has got to take control in that area, because, as I said, the number of times they're losing goals from set plays, they'll just keep on losing them until they get themselves organised, because when that ball's coming in the box, I'm saying to myself, you tend to panic. You think, hey, we're going to lose another one here. Instead of being positive and clearing it, you go a bit hesitant, indecisive, and it is a major problem that they've got.
Another major problem, and sort of depressing few months for probably Sven now. He's thinking, I've got a bit of a team going here, and all of a sudden there's a performance like that. What will he make of it?
He'll be disappointed, that's for sure, for tonight. I think the first thing you want to be looking at is the passing. He'll look at that. We've pretty much been outclassed by a Spanish side here today, which they're a good side. You have to give them credit tonight. They was very, very good, but major championships over the last few years they've not been, and we've got to set our sights higher than what Spain are at the moment.
Just occasionally, when things are going really well and you start thinking that you're going to win the World Cup, it is good to have a setback, and they've had a setback tonight.
Is that the only positive that England
That's
can
the only
take
positive they can take. There's no. Where's the point? You tell me a player that played well on the night. Can't think of one that springs to mind. The middle of the park was shambolic. They never got tight, and as I said, when they got a hold of the ball, the number of times the passing went astray, it was just unbelievable for very good players.
Yeah. And nothing up front. You've got no chance playing up front in games like that.
It was difficult for Michael Owen tonight. He never got the ball, and as I say, we were talking about Wayne Rooney's frustration there.
They don't make great reading. That's 64% possession for a start.
Wow, the shots on
that
target.
Wouldn't surprise you though, watching that match. Yeah. The Spanish were great. They were great right from the word go. Like Jamie says, the middle of the park, they passed it and played as well as I've seen any team in a long, long time. The victory was comprehensive.
Final word?
Disappointing tonight. Yeah. It was just one of them games where we never got going. I think the start, the first 5-10 minutes, they set their tempo off so sharp for a friendly game, and they carried it on throughout for the first half anyway. The second half petered out.
I've got a positive for you. They're better than that.
Yeah, well, that's good. OK, that's it from us on the night that Rooney went loony and England were given a Spanish lesson. Well, at least on the pitch they were. Good night.